Hello YouTube world. So this is going to be short review on the Royal Enfield Continental GT. That's the bike right there. So we're gonna go through the review like regarding its different subjects, like its styling and its performance and its engine. So let's start with the styling. I think it's one of the best looking bikes Royal Enfield has ever made. I think because of its cafe racer styling, I think it's one of the most authentic cafe racers you can buy right now, just out of the showroom. I think Truxton, there's a Triumph Truxton that comes, that Triumph offers as a cafe racer, and there's also a Moto Guzzi of some kind, and they're both cafe races, and I think this is the most authentic one. I think that's at least what I think. Since it's just got that proportion about it. It's just that right proportion. It's just a attention grabber wherever it goes. From people on bicycles to people on BMWs, just everybody just want to have a look at the bike, and yeah, and I think it's especially in this bright yellow. I think it's just bring out those proportions even better. And let's talk about the engine now. The engine, it's got a 535cc long stroke, and that's a push rod. It's got a lot of torque, and this is making 29.1 something bhp and 44 newton meter of torque. And so the things I've done to it is making even more. So we'll discuss that later. And so the engine is, I think the best feature about it is the torque. It's got a lot of torque, especially on city speeds, and you just rush past people, like especially in the city speeds, like around 60 to 80 and around 100. It's just got a lot of torque right there, especially in third gear and second gear. It's got a lot of torque. um, Now let's talk about the handling of the bike. The handling, I think, on this Royal Enfield is the best handling like Royal Enfield has ever offered, because they normally come up with the Bullet or the Thunderbird. This has got a double tube chassis made by Harris Performance in the UK, and so what that does is the bike is a lot more confidence inspiring, and it's a lot more flickable, and it's really agile. And I think the Pioli shocks has got a lot to do with it, because I think they're a bit too stiff for the Indian roads, but um, on smooth roads they're just amazing. They provide a lot of feel to the rider, and they're stiff, so it just holds on to the road, the wheel. And the Pirelli tires are awesome as well. They provide a lot of grip, especially the rear tires. It's got a lot of grip to it. You can just brake a lot deeper into the corners because of the grip. There's a lot of grip on those tires. I think they're Pirelli Sport Demons. I think, yes, it's something like that. And just a couple of things that I've done to improve the bike. It's got a optional exhaust system on it that Royal Enfield offers. That's the one. I think sounds a lot better than the stock system, and it's more free flowing than the stock system as well. So the bike revs a little quicker than normal, and I've got those really beautiful bar and mirrors as well. This is just amazing. Those just look amazing. I had to get those. I think the bike is not complete without those. And so yeah, that's the modifications that I've got from Royal Enfield. And the other modifications I've done to it myself is I've changed the air filter from the stock one to a K&N setup. It's a conical air filter. I think it's a lot. It just sucks in a lot of air, and I think the difference it has made to the bike is just leaps forward like it never did with the stock air filter. I think there's definitely an increase in performance with that. And another thing I've done to it is change the engine oil. The engine oil is now Motul 300V 15W50 fully synthetic engine oil, and I think that's one of the most significant modifications I've done to it, because it's made the most difference. Because the bike is a lot smoother now. As you know, with the Royal Enfield, there's in the high RPMs there's a lot of vibration, but I think the vibrations have decreased by at least like 50%. The engine oil in this bike has made a lot of difference, and the bike now, I think there's an increase in performance as well, and the vibrations are have gone really down, like 50% at least. And the first time I drove it, I couldn't even believe that, there's a bird on my bike. Come on, man, fly away. No. The first time I got on the bike, I was really struggling to think that it's the same bike. I was like thinking like somebody's just changed the engine or something. It was so smooth, and it revved a lot quicker as well. And yeah, another latest modification I've done to it. It's not really a modification. It's just a small change. Is I've changed the plugs to iridium plugs, NGK iridium plugs from the stock plugs, and I think that's also, I think, provided a lot of smoothness, and what is is the throttle response. It's just a lot crisper than before. It's just it's just more sharp. It's a lot more crisp than before. So yeah, that's the modifications I've done to it, and I'm planning a lot more with time. I'm planning to change the headers and the exhaust system, and I'm gonna install a power commander from Hitchcock's very soon. So I'll upload a video of it once I've done with it, and so yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do on this bike. It's just as the CEO of the company said, it's just a canvas for people that you can modify a lot of things on these bikes, because they're just very simple machines, and I think they're a lot of fun, because with this bike it's fun all the time when you're looking at it, when you're parking it, or when you're riding it. Like, I didn't have very much sleep last night, but um, I'm just fresh as a daisy right now. Just you just push the throttle on this bike and you just feel good, and it's just one of those things. So for the final verdict, I think with this bike, it's just a lot to do with how it makes you feel. Because if you judge a bike by how it makes you feel, then rather what it can do, I think this Continental GT is in a class of its own. Really, it's just that kind of bike that'll just make you wake up 4 in the morning and just tell you to go for a ride. It's just that kind of motorcycle. So yeah, I hope you liked that video. I think this was my first review. I hope it was alright, not too bad. um, but yeah, I'll like to do a lot more videos on this bike, um, about all the stuff I'll be doing with it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Any questions, just leave it in the comments below. Thank you.